Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bart Curtis Show. This is show number 6, and the Tigers just got done squaring off with the Goshen Redhawks up at Goshen. We'll talk all about that game and also tell you all the highlights as we talk to Coach later in the show. But first of all, we had a chance to talk to our head coach at Edgewood, Coach Joe HAWN, also known as Chief HAWN, who is the Chief of Police over at Winona Lake. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the 8th grade program and what they do. And then, of course, after that, we'll follow with a couple of our player interviews with Jake HAWN and Jake Dessenberg. So roll the tape, and we'll be back after that with an interview with Coach Bart, everyone. And we're talking now to, we talk a lot to the players and to some of the coaches, varsity coaches, freshman coaches, and stuff like this. But some of the guys that really are in the trenches and start things and get things going for us are junior high coaches. So it's my pleasure to welcome Chief Joe HAWN, and he is the Chief of Police at Winona Lake. And no, for you out there that are thinking this, I have not been arrested, okay? That might be a little bit later today, but not right now. Chief, thanks for being with us here today. Tell us a little bit about your job as far as it goes to Tiger football.
Well, at 8th grade level, I'm at Edgewood Middle School, and this year has been a really good year for us, really, at Edgewood. We're 5-1 right now. Just came off a tough loss, though, to Maple Creek over in Fort Wayne. We had a lot of illness, just like I hear the varsity.
Yeah, we got plenty of that going on, too.
Yeah, we've got a lot of illness going on there at Edgewood, and we lost a couple offensive linemen. Had a tough game, but other than that, I tell you what, at the beginning of the year, we started out at practices, and I came in and I sit there and I look, and I had about 40 kids out. 38.
Really, that many?
38 kids on at Edgewood.
That's a good number.
That's a good number, and I'm telling you what, Bart's always talked to us and preached to us and said, if you can do all your players do 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and we've had the ability to be able to do that.
Oh, that's great. That's a platoon system. Great.
That is a platoon system, and we don't go around anybody both ways typically, and. So yeah, it's been a really good year to be able to have that kind of talent that's going to be coming up here next year for the freshmen.
And I think that's really a key thing here that people need to understand. The junior high coaches play such a crucial role in the development of and getting the kids interested in Tiger football.
Absolutely. As you look, and I preach to the kids a lot of times, if you're not starting, it doesn't always matter, because a lot of times when you get up to high school, you get in the weight room, and your body changes, you get bigger. I'm sitting there watching several of the kids on the varsity here today, and I'm watching them. I'm like, you know what? Those kids weren't really playing that much. They weren't starting on offense and defense. They weren't, and now they're up there and they're making big contributions to Warsaw Tiger football, so that's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, tell us, Joe, how long you've been involved in Tiger football. Of course, you have a son who we just saw a little bit ago talking and playing football there. So how long have you been involved in Tiger football? Well,
Tiger football, it starts even clear down at young Tiger football down in even the younger.
Absolutely.
And I started coaching Jacob at a very young age. I think he was like 7 years old when we started coaching down at Fribley Field. And so I coached him there for about 5 years. And then I came up and I took a year off because Jacob was like, I'm tired of you coaching me, Dad.
Right, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
he's behind the camera for everyone that's on it. So anyway,
and he was shaking his head, yes.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So that was really good. Now I took that year off when he was in 7th grade. And then when I came he moved into 8th grade. The 7th grade year, his 8th grade year, I decided to coach with Coach Cook. And Lane Sumner also at Edgewood, so I helped coach 7th grade then. And then last year, I was at Lakeview. Coach Bart wanted me to coach at Lakeview.
Yeah.
He needed a coaching position out there. And then this year, when Jason Nolan moved over from up to freshman level, then I chose to come over to Edgewood because, Edgewood's always been my home. That's
where
my kids always been. And that's where I was the school resource officer there as well. So that was always kind of home to me. So went over to Edgewood this year.
All right. Well, Chief, we really do appreciate everything you guys do, and we know it's hard work to work with the junior high kids down there because they're really just starting to learn the fundamentals, and that's why you guys play such a crucial role in getting the kids ready and developing that skill. So when they come up to the freshman level, which is usually where I run into them, we continue the building process. So we appreciate everything you do, Coach.
All right.
Thanks for being with us today.
You bet.
And we're happy with the Tigers being 5-1 and coming off a big win over Goshen earlier today.
Oh, you bet. That's awesome. I love to watch it. I was up there watching the game, and it was fun to watch.
We enjoy your support and for the players as well as in your coaching activities. We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Bart Curtis Show, and we're now in our student-athlete section of the show, which we usually get a chance to talk to the kids, and in this case, we're talking to Jacob HAWN, and Jacob plays an integral part to the football team, as does everybody that's involved. Jacob, tell everyone what you do for the Tiger football team.
I'm the strong defensive end.
Okay. All right, and if you can notice here upon closer inspection, Jacob's got some cotton in his nose, a couple nostrils here plugged up. Tell us what happened, because we just got back from the Goshen game, everyone, which the Tigers won by the score of 48-10.
I came around the end and I sacked the quarterback.
And your nose started bleeding.
Yeah.
And that's, does that always happen when you tackle quarterbacks? Your nose starts to bleed or what?
Not always.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, something new then. All right. Tell us a little bit about your experience. When did you start playing football, and what was all involved in your progression to be where you are now as a varsity football player?
I started playing football back in the third grade, and I just kept on playing and getting better and stuff like that.
Enjoy it, okay? Yeah. All right. What are some of the things? What's the best thing about the Tiger football programs? Just you can name several. I don't want to I just don't want to nail you down to one thing. What are some things you truly enjoy about the game?
I like it's a good team sport, and that it's one of the only sports you can hit people for fun.
Yeah, that's true. You got a point there. All right. So, what are your? We just got off of the Goshen win. Next up is the Warriors, and of course from Wawasee, and that's for the Big W game. So, does that make this that much more of an important game coming up?
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. Some of the things you like about school and that kind of thing. Anything like that you want to tell anybody about? What's your favorite class, for instance?
I like 0 hour.
0, okay. Let's tell everybody what you do during 0 hour.
We do a little conditioning and we lift weights.
Okay, and that's primarily for the football program, right?
Yes.
So that stands to reason why you would enjoy that, right?
Of course.
What time do you guys have to get there? Tell everybody what time you guys have to get there.
For people that don't have the class, we have to be here at 6:30, and for people that have the first hour AWT weightlifting, you have to be here at 6:45.
Okay. All right. Well, Jacob, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us here, and congratulations on the big win over Goshen. Tigers are now, 5-1?
Yes, sir.
And Wawasee is next, and Tigers are in the hunt for a conference championship, so we wish you guys the best, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bart Curtis Show. We're in our segment here where we're talking to our student athletes. We just got done talking to Jacob HAWN, and now we're going to talk to Jacob Dessenberg. So this is a Jacob show, I guess, this week. Jake's one of the big guys up front, also known as one of the Wild Hogs. Tell us about your job.
I'm the right guard, and my job is basically protect the quarterback and anyone running the ball, and just destroy and dominate the person in front of me.
Knock people's blocks off, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Tell everyone what grade you're in.
I'm a senior this year.
All right. So we got actually our whole lines is senior line, basically, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Tell us about when you got started in football and some of the things that you enjoy about football.
It was probably around 5th grade, just the Pee Wee League, and I was always like lineman
right.
type.
You were never a running back or anything like that. Okay.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. I just enjoy being having the team unity, team bonding, and going out and just hitting someone.
Right.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, and you Wild Hogs do a pretty good job of that too, I might add.
I would say so. Yes.
Well, as we just got done with the Goshen game, as I was talking to Jacob HAWN about, any of your impressions about the Goshen game? I know things went well. Obviously, we won 48-10, but was there any favorite part to all of that you were involved in here earlier today?
Of course, just going out and scoring every drive that we were on the field for. So
pretty much every time we touched the ball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, and that's a good thing to do for an offensive unit. Very
yes,
good.
It is.
All right, some of the things that you enjoy as far as it goes to I know you guys are the brotherhood of the Wild Hogs. Yep. I'm well aware of the brotherhood. In fact, you guys get to wear Hogs tusk, don't you?
If you win win Wild Hog of the Week, you get a tusk, like a hog tusk that they give you, and you can put it on a chain that you can wear.
Right. Okay. All right. So have you won one of those yet?
I have not yet. No.
You think you're going to cash in here in the next three games?
Like to, yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So we got the W game coming up here against Wawasee. Any thoughts about taking on the Warriors next?
I think we're going to be ready to go out and hit them and win.
All right, be homecoming for the Tigers, and we hope everybody can be there and will enjoy the game and come out and support the kids and support the Tiger football. Jacob, thanks for being with us today, and congratulations on the big win over Goshen and moving the Tiger record to 5-1. And welcome back to the Bart Curtis Show. We're talking now to the head coach of the Warsaw Tigers, Coach Bart Curtis. And, Coach, we had kind of an unusual weekend, to say the least. We started things out heading up to Goshen. It was raining, it was storming, it was, lightning and all that kind of stuff. And we thought we might get it in, but it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah, it didn't. And, when you coach the sport or any outdoor sport in northern Indiana, you need to be able to adapt, make adjustments, overcome adversity. My only regret, and I said this when I boarded the bus, is I'm about to embark on a 5-hour journey, possibly longer, and I will never be able to get those hours back in my life. Now,
Right.
I knew that going into this, but when they call, you got to go, and we went and did a lot of. Appreciated you having the music machine up there. That brought some soothing.
We had some good stuff going there too.
It was a tribute to Rick Ocasek and Eddie Money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I appreciated. But it was an interesting evening. I can remember in 2013 taking a trip to Crown Point, Indiana from Mishawaka, and begging and pleading for him to hold out and get the game in because we traveled.
Sure, that's a distance.
Minutes, 90 to 100 minutes by bus. And they finally said, we're not playing tonight. And this is about 11 o'clock. So we had a 7-0 lead.
Oh, yeah.
And had been playing well and went back the next night, and it didn't go quite as well. It did not, yeah. So we never got the ball snapped. The only thing we did do Friday night was get the coin toss inside, which was favorable for us. And maybe a rule that people don't know is that carries over once the toss is made. And I could have come back. We won the toss. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know that I could have come back and had the weather conditions changed.
You could have.
I could have changed your option.
Call. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. We deferred to the second half, but had let's say there was a 150 mile an hour wind.
Right.
And we wanted to kick into it.
Right.
Get the ball to float backwards or whatever.
Yeah. Which Mevis might have been able to do that.
He could probably drive it into the end zone through a 150 mile an hour face-on wind. But no, it's one of those things where you do a lot of sitting around, you wait. We never actually made it to the field other than the coaches that had to set stuff up.
Right.
I want to compliment our kids on their behavior during that. And I thought the coaches did a pretty good job of knowing where the kids were. We had them in two separate spots. One of them was on the balcony and somewhere in the locker room.
Right.
And it really wasn't that big a deal.
Right.
And we decided at about 8:15.
Right, somewhere in there.
That, hey, this isn't going to happen tonight. And I told Larry Kissinger, their AD, and their head football coach, Kyle Park, the sooner we get out of here, the earlier we can start tomorrow.
Right,
so if we stay till 11, we're not coming back in the morning.
Right.
So we got out at 8:15 and agreed to come back and kick off at 10.
Yeah, and it all worked out. And like you said, I think the kids handled it well. And going into it, because it is a little bit different creature when you go in there Saturday morning and things have changed. But I thought overall the kids did a really good job adapting.
They did. It was awful quiet. There was more noise coming from the JV soccer game that was next door. I told my wife it felt a little bit like a scrimmage or a camp.
Right.
It was in the morning.
Right.
It was quiet.
Well, we all came back. Unfortunately, the fans from Goshen and it's understandable on Saturday morning.
It's a homecoming for them.
Sure.
one thing, that we need to get out there is there will not be a junior varsity game tomorrow night.
Oh, there will not be?
There will not
Okay.
be. More on our part than theirs, but it was a joint agreement that, with the sickness, the injuries, the moving around, the quarters rule. With
Right. Yeah.
We played quite a few JV kids 3 quarters
Right.
Saturday. It's in our best interest to hold off a week, get healthy, and play
Right.
the next week
Right.
junior varsity.
Right, exactly. Well, overall, let's talk a little bit about the game itself. It was raining outside, and the Tigers managed to rain down a whole bunch of touchdowns.
We were, we talk about offensive productivity and defensive productivity. The goal of defense is to get the ball back for the offense, hopefully sooner than later.
Right.
Hopefully not after a score. That's one way to get the ball back. The offense, you don't want that. Well, we had the ball 8 possessions, and we had 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
And that's pretty. That's productive. Now we're watching the film
right.
in there, and there's an awful lot of mental errors, an awful lot of missed assignments that against somebody maybe that's a little quicker, that's not playing with so many younger kids like Goshen is, that those are catastrophic. But
Right.
we were able to overcome them. Positive is there was a lot of great effort and a lot of great plays made.
Right, absolutely. I want to mention a couple of the kids there that aren't normally in the lineup. Let's see when I got here. Colton Wampler was one definitely did a nice job.
He did a great job, and we knew going in, and he's been biding his time, and he has the dubious task of being a fullback in this offense, as is Juan Jaramillo. So obviously Juan is our number 1 B back. Colton is our 1B B back, and he needs to get reps, and he did. And it was a situation where we had 11 different guys carry the football, and he was one of them. He ended up being our had the most carries.
Right.
You gonna get that phone?
No, I'm going to ignore that phone
Okay,
because
I'll ignore it if
we're in
you
the middle
ignore it.
one. Everyone else can hear it though now, so sorry about that.
No balls, you need
None. Okay. Well, Patrick Zollinger.
somebody calling you to tell
Yeah.
you a joke or tell you you won $1 million.
Well, that would be good. Well, they can call back. This is priceless what we're doing, Coach. It doesn't
Okay.
make any difference. Patrick Zollinger,
PT.
big run.
75 yards. He was
Everybody was cheering. It was
He
great.
had 78 yards on 2 carries. Same
good
play.
average.
Counter trade left, and it actually wasn't blocked up exactly how we drew it up. The 2-eye got turned loose somehow, and we kicked him, and it turned into a little tighter play. But he snuck through there, followed no choose block, and went stumbling down the sideline for 75 yards. So that was great to see him get.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of 11 players that rushed the football yesterday.
Wow. Well, overall, too, I think, of course, the kids, the seniors, our quarterbacks did fine there. Of course, Miss did his job
He
as
did.
usual.
And then most of his reads were quality
Right.
reads. And here's the thing, he's not afraid to try and make a play.
Right.
He
Absolutely. He's a competitor all the way.
Threw the deep drag to Keegan Larsh, and that's one of those where you say, no, and then it works out. He pitched the ball out to Julius Jones in a mess, but you know what? It worked out.
Right.
You can't be afraid to make a mistake, but we also got to know when and when not to
Absolutely.
take those risks.
Absolutely.
But another
Good, stellar defensive job, giving up.
struggle a little bit to get them off the field at times.
Mm-hmm.
I said this 2 weeks ago on this show, and I'll say it again. If you want a rest, quit looking over at the sidelines at me with those eyes that look dog-tired, and you're sweating and your hands are on your thighs. If you want to rest and you want to water, 3 snaps, get their punter in there, and you can come over here and stand by us. If we keep giving them 3 more downs or 4 more downs, you know what? You better figure out ways to stop them.
Absolutely. Well, overall, I thought the kids defensively did a real solid job.
Absolutely, and had a couple new faces in there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 73, Kyle Dawson, filled in at defensive tackle.
Yes, big sophomore.
And absolutely. And, Gage Lyon was dressed and needed if needed. And then obviously number 6, Blake Marsh, and number 11, Luke Adamick, weren't available, but we had guys fill in for them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Coach, changing gears. It's W week. It's homecoming for Warsaw, and, it's just a whole bunch of activities and things going on this week as we prepare for the Wawasee Warriors, our northern Kosciuszko County backdoor rivals, to come to town.
It is, and it's a conference game. It is a game for what you just said, bragging rights in the community, because a lot of our people, I'm sure, know a lot of their people, and vice versa.
Sure. Yeah. In fact, one guy I know graduated from there.
Oh yeah, I know him too. What Milford High School?
It wasn't just one
then?
year, and then 3 years it was Wawasee. I was a freshman at Milford High School, and then we moved over to the high school.
So you were around for the consolidation?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought that maybe after.
No, I was there.
Okay. And you know what? They've got a brand new head coach, John Rudabaugh. Good guy. And they're playing the game hard. They're playing the game the right way. Their record on paper, again, doesn't look it looks like the matchup should go Warsaw's way, but as we talked last week, you don't know how the ball is going to bounce. You don't know if what you're doing is going to produce the results that are desired.
Right.
So, we're going to prepare like it's Warren Central or Ben Davis.
Absolutely.
Because it's the next game. It's the most important game. It's the only game this week.
Right.
It's homecoming. It's a W trophy. We need to have a great week of practice and be ready to go at 7:30 on Friday night. And I did say 7:30.
Right. We didn't want to point that out, that it's a half hour later startup time. 7:30 will be the kickoff on Friday evening. It won't be 7 o'clock like it usually is for the conference game, so everyone needs to be aware of that.
Back when you and I first got into this, every game was 7:30.
Yeah, that's right, it was.
But now everything's 7.
Well, Coach, we got a couple of things that I want to mention here, because we do have some pictures, even a little bit of video that I want to drop in there. First of all, we talked about cleaning up the locker rooms. You sent me a picture of the locker room.
I did.
Let's talk about that.
Well, we've had some sickness. We've had combinations of strep throat, bronchitis. We thought we had a young man with mononucleosis, which fortunately he tested negative. Pink eye, we've got 2 cases of pink eye. And you can tell kids, wash your hands, wash your face, take your clothes home, do what you got to do. So I sent you that picture because what we finally did was it was mandatory for everybody to take every stitch of clothing home or leave it, and I'll wash it.
Right.
And put your helmets on the bench, your shoulder pads on the floor, and our athletic department, through Matt and Jeff, were kind enough to get in contact with our people who take care of the S building, our grounds crew and maintenance, and they came in and they sprayed 3 straight nights, disinfecting, sanitizing, and hopefully we're on top of this now, because we don't need illnesses and things that are keeping kids out of school and practice, along with the injuries we have.
Absolutely. All right, next thing up, Coach. I don't know how many people know this, but we have a really cool thing that we do, a couple of cool things that we do. One of them is what I call Donuts and Devotions, and I think that's what you call it too, but it's Friday morning.
Game day inspiration, but I like that.
Donuts and
I like that.
It's a D&D.
I like that.
But we were fortunate this last Friday morning to have Coach Kessler from Grace College come and talk to the kids.
And this is something that has been carried over. I inherited at Mishawaka, and it's game day inspiration. And our kids come in at our 0-hour kids come in at 6:50 on Friday, and we have a speaker for them each week, a different speaker, donuts, juice, and milk. And Coach Kessler, the legendary Grace basketball coach, 42 years, one place, Hall of Famer, national champion. What a great job. Great job, great words of inspiration for our young men. And, I want to thank him. He did a wonderful job. And our kids are so attentive, and they get so much from that.
Right.
And what a great way to kick off your game day Friday.
Absolutely. And we have another tradition that is on a Thursday night. We have a speaker that comes in and talks to the kids. It's always a different speaker, and this time it was Coach Rocky Goshert that talked to the kids on Thursday evening.
It was, and I saw your little guy set up back there with his camera. Your freshman manager.
Yeah, my freshman manager.
Yeah, great young man.
Yeah.
And he was taping a little
Aiden
bit.
Hanlon.
Taping a little bit of Coach Goshert's speech, and Rocky got a little fired up, which was good. It means so much to him. And everybody, every Thursday night, brings a little different angle to our guest speakers. Boy, these flies are bad in here.
Great, I know.
But he's so invested. His dad was the head football coach here. The last undefeated regular season, 1964. Well, maybe not. I think we had one in 2001. But undefeated, 10-0. Bill Goshert. So Rocky has seen it all when it comes to Warsaw football, and he's our head 7th grade coach at Lakeview, and it was great to have him impart words of wisdom to our kids.
Absolutely. A couple other things here that we did, and one thing here that I've got a picture of, and they'll see it here as we're talking about it, is Tri-Kappa has a pumpkin painting deal that they do every year. It's a fundraiser for them, and they needed some manpower to move those pumpkins around.
And Coach Huffer organized that in a heartbeat, and we had plenty of help. And they had like 500 pumpkins unloaded in 20 minutes.
Right.
So, and then they got to eat pizza Thursday night for their efforts. So that was, our kids are always willing to serve others and over themselves. And community service is just one of the things that we try to impart on our kids and make available to them. And that's really
Absolutely.
been a positive thing for our community and our kids.
Absolutely. Good response from our kids and a great response from our community, and I know it's always deeply appreciated. So, Coach, thanks for being with us here. I know you're busy. You're planning and getting things squared around for the Wawasee period here, so thanks for being with us, and we wish you the best of luck as you go into homecoming.
Thank you, Dave.